All right, day 2, Big Guy Fitness, daily journal. Just super consistent with this. It's 2 days. We'll see where it goes. But today I'm going to talk a little about kind of ADD stuff as far as so many little things I learned today, relearned. One of the main ones was intermittent fasting. And my journey with that was, it's been about a year or so doing that. And if I had to do it over again, I'd probably do it a little bit differently. I started kind of like everything I do. When I get into something, I kind of go full force. And I started doing what intermittent fasting is. I mean, you can find it anywhere. Thomas DeLauer's a good guy, good source of that information. And what that is basically instead of eating all day throughout the day like most of us do, which is you wake up in the morning, if you're early, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever. So say I wake up at like 10 o'clock. Yeah, late, but I stay up very late. But if I wake up around 10 o'clock, I usually go on a walk. I just throw on clothes, go on a walk. When I come home, usually do a workout, and already it's 2 o'clock. So I don't eat till 2 o'clock. And then I eat a good, healthy thing. We'll go over diet later. But then I don't eat again sometimes at all. But sometimes I'll eat later at night, or I'll snack a little. I try and get a lot of protein, as much protein as I can get in those meals. And that's the thing that was reinforced and I kind of forgot about, because, you start wanting to eat certain things that don't satiate you as much, so then you're still hungry. That's a very important thing. So anyway, the intermittent fasting, so then you stop eating around 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock. If you, like I said, if I don't eat from 2 o'clock till about 10, that's 8 hours of eating. And that's a general, so they call that a 16-8, right? So you're basically not eating for 16 hours and then you're eating during an 8-hour period. So that gives your body enough time to rest, because when you're digesting food, your body is burning energy, right? In order to digest and parse all that food into sugars, fats, all that kind of stuff. So the whole thought of tighter intermittent fasting, they call it, there's a OMAD, 1 meal a day, where literally if you eat for an hour or a half hour or whatever, so you're really fasting for 23 hours, right? Some people do a 16-hour fast, 18-hour fast, 20-hour fast, whatever. What I would have changed, instead of being so strict about it, I would have definitely done whatever my body felt like doing that day. Like, there are some days I just don't feel like eating, and then maybe I'll pull a 24-hour. And if you can pull a 24-hour if you pull a 24-hour during certain hours, if it ends at night and then you just sleep through, you get an extra 8 hours. And then if you don't eat for another couple hours, you can easily get a 36-hour fast. But again, what I was saying earlier is I jumped into this super early. When I was doing 24, 36, 48, 70, I did a few 72-hour fasts, or I came close to 72, but then I got too hungry. And there's tricks to doing this, as far as when you start getting a little hungry, eat some or drink some bone broth, because that kind of fools your body into thinking that it's getting something that's a little more substantial than water. And there's just so much information. I mean, it's almost exhausting how much information there is, and you kind of have to find out what works for you, and that's a process. But the biggest thing is the patience of it all. When you're in this and you're really trying to lose weight, especially if you're overweight and you have a little body dysmorphia and you see yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't like what I look like, you're trying to do it as fast as you can. That's the wrong way to do it. This is at 50, the whole point of this is a lifestyle change. Eating different, your everything. It's just changing from eating the crap foods and trying to get more exercise and just making a lifestyle. Because if it turns into a diet, you end up doing it for a couple weeks, couple months. If you get a setback or something doesn't work out, it will literally stall and possibly stop. And that's the worst thing for doing this. So, and the funny thing is with the body dysmorphia, I was transferring some videos to my computer, and I saw these old videos of, I play tennis, play an awful lot of tennis, and I'm pretty good, but I was 216 pounds, like I said, and man, I just literally, I couldn't believe what I looked like playing. I mean, I was sloppy, my body was moving weird, my arms were kind of hitting sideways instead of hitting a really clean shot. It was just, everything was just weird. And looking at that, I kind of got a little, not depressed today, but a little bummed. But then being where I'm at right now, 45 pounds lighter, in a little better shape, I got inspired. And there's this back and forth thing, and you got to fight the mental states of all that. And also, as I walk by on Ventura Boulevard here, there's all these shops with windows, and I'm constantly turning my head, just in an hour walk, looking in the windows, and I see my reflection. And some days I just don't like what I see. But then I try and switch that in my brain and think, yeah, but I'm in such a better place than I was. And it's coming along. And again, it's that slow trek. Instead of going, well, next week I want to be this. Next week, I mean, have goals. Yeah, but realize that you're probably not going to meet a lot of those goals. Especially if every week you're setting a new one. Don't be disappointed if you don't hit a goal. And I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. This is, again, just that whole journal thing. And I'm trying to journal my thoughts. But so, yeah, the intermittent fasting is a huge thing. The protein thing is a huge thing. I was watching some stuff today. The music thing I was listening to was Ozzy Osbourne. And that was interesting because apparently he passed today. So I have a couple short videos I upload. This is the second day. And it's funny, nobody watched the long form from yesterday, maybe 3 people. But the short, almost 500 people watched. So it's kind of weird. And I don't know how this whole YouTube thing works. But I like posting a little long video that documents some of my thoughts and some of the things I've learned and my progress in my weight loss. Today was a chest day. I usually do bis and tris and abs on Monday and Thursday, and then my other split is Tuesday and Friday for chest, and I do chest and shoulder, and then Wednesday I hit like the legs and lats and stuff like that. And I usually sometimes miss Wednesday. I don't know why, I'm just not into that right now. Although I'm gonna have chicken legs, and I already had that. But so yeah, today chest was awesome. It felt really good. I upped some weights, and I haven't done that. But I'm starting to feel that the side here is getting a little more shape. I mean, it's all bouncy. I'm still fat, but it's starting to tighten up a little. And when I hold my arms a certain way, I'm starting to get a straighter line here, which is really interesting. I've never had that. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. And this intermittent fasting might not be for everybody, but it's definitely something that has helped me immensely. I did that without any exercise for a couple, 3-4 months, and lost a good about 25 pounds immediately. I mean, it was cutting out sugars and all that kind of stuff. So it was dietary, but it was also that time restrictive eating that I still do. And I actually like that lifestyle. I think it feels really good. I wake up not hungry. I don't have, they call it, when your body's telling you you're hungry, it's ghrelins or something like that. And yeah, the ghrelins don't bark at me as much. And I can go, sometimes I'll do a 48-hour fast just because I'll get through a day and be like, man, I'm just not hungry. But the thing I do forget, which was what was reinforced today in one of the videos I was watching, was the protein, especially over 50, which this is what it's all about. The hardest part is you lose more muscle as you get past 40. You start losing muscle easier and faster. And the way to stave that off are two things. One, to actually do resistance training, so you're building muscle, but also to eat more protein, because protein is what feeds the muscles and actually builds them. So I'm trying to eat more protein, which ends up being a lot of eggs. Can't eat too many eggs. I think that's been disputed. Everybody used to say, you get too much high cholesterol and all this kind of stuff. And then people were doing egg whites, and it's really actually the whole egg. It's like without the yolk, you don't get all the combined properties. And I mean, there are other people that explain this better, but from what I get is egg whites are good, but you definitely want the yolks. So maybe if you want more protein and stuff, maybe instead of eating 2 whole eggs or 5 whole eggs, eat 3 whole eggs and 2 equivalent egg whites. Some people say, well, you're doing a whole egg and you split it open, give the yolk to your dog or something. Or you can buy egg white stuff in a container and just use a couple tablespoons of that or something. So anyway, that is the deal for today. Hopefully I'll keep doing this consistently so I can document my progress for myself. And hopefully if anybody watches this, they check out some of the other videos, the shorts. If you can, like and subscribe. I mean, I'd love to have a conversation with people that are like-minded, and are in the same stage of life, and are having the same kind of difficulties or wins, and just stir up some conversation about this and share information, because it takes a lot to study all this stuff, watch videos. It's time consuming, and what works for me might not work for somebody else, but the discussion of how things are working is very important, and it's inspiring when you can bounce things off one another. So, and then with the music stuff, check out Guitar Breakdown, and on YouTube, it's a blue and green GB logo. If anybody's interested in guitar lessons or guitar stuff like that. Been teaching all my life for 35 years. And a lot of it is 80s hair metal, rock guitar, more of the, I wouldn't say sophisticated stuff, but more complicated, fun stuff. If anybody's interested in that, hop over there, and I'll see anybody who's watching this, probably just me, tomorrow. All right.